So I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to just see if I can film it and show you. So anyway, I was thinking to myself, what alternative? We've only paid £2 for it. There's not very good markings on it. What alternative use can we make out of this? Just this piece of metal here, this now. And it's tool metal, so we know it's strong, don't we? Well, I was thinking of pivoting it here. And you know, because the bottom piece is heavier than the top piece, we know gravity will always make it fall down. Doesn't matter where you put it, it's always going to, even if you put it upside down and you let it go, it'll always come down to the bottom. Well, if I was to, do you see how these, they only go in and out, don't they? So, okay, we've got the tube thing. We've got this key lock, and it comes down and secures that bolt across there. So we've seen that. But would you put a second sneaky lock here? If we put this here, if we mount that there, say, so that when that bolt opens, let's open the bolt, it pushes that across. Okay, so now that's not at an angle, that's not straight down, is it? So when you pull it shut, that would then go down, and it would always go down to the same position, because that's what gravity does, brings it back down. So if you were to, for argument's sake, put a bolt in here, simple, just a little simple bolt in a hole like that, that would then come through the other side, which would lock this in place, which would stop the bolt. Even if you had the key, it would stop the bolt coming. So you'd have to do two things on that lock. So you could do it a bolt from the other side, or you could make some sort of frame where it slipped into a little spring-loaded, you could make this fall into a little spring-loaded nuts on the end, couldn't you? So that when it came to that position, we got a nice little, and the little bolt would shoot into there and hold it in place. So I was thinking that, so if you want to open the lock, you have to do two things to open the lock. Just a bit of extra security type of thing. But then I saw this. Then I saw this and I thought, well, that's really secure. Now the problem with anything like this, with anything, which way round am I going to show you with this? I can't see it. The problem with anything like this is, fine, the bolt slides across. And in this case, we only want to slow them down and we want them to make a hell of a noise. But if you had a big bar like this and you wanted to come through this door, and noise wasn't a problem, you could make as much noise as you want because it was in a remote location, or you had as much time as you wanted to get through it, you could then use this bar and jemmy these 2 inches apart. So, you know, say if I was in wood or timber or whatever, you could, so you can either withdraw the bolt, but if the bolt hasn't got much of a throw on it, you can just jemmy them apart, couldn't you? But if the bolt was another way of fixing that wasn't going to come out, that would make it that much stronger. But again, it only holds it in one direction. So let me just make another film to show you what I'm thinking about. So all the bolt does is slide across and make that connection. Just remember that. So it can be levered apart. This could be levered backwards, or that could be levered that way, okay? So hold on with there, let's follow, let's go and just look at another example. So as an example, here is, can you see? So there's these chute bolts, these are the bolts that go across. But have you seen how this grips the frame? So you can't separate the door away from the frame. When you lock this door, That's what that does, doesn't it? So it not only stops it going forwards and backwards, but you can't even separate it, you see. So that, I'm thinking, is a much better capturing system, isn't it? So there's one here and there's one down there, look. That captures it, so it captures it downwards and it captures it upwards as well. So, we've got that, haven't we? So it would not only connect across, but it would grip it as well. So let's see where that might go. So here's the mechanism. You could do something like this, couldn't you? As this comes across and reaches that there, you see, watch, and then that falls away. You could do something similar here, but on this sort of basis, on catching something, or either catching it upwards or catching it downwards. But you know, you'd have to build some bracketing, you'd have to make something reach and fet, do you know what I mean? But I'll tell you what I have got. I have got a spare throttle cable here, look, from way back. From way back. So I could make this throttle cable. I could make this throttle cable operate the end of this, make this pivot across, and we could hide this somewhere, make it pull something, so you have to have another extra sort of sneaky lock. Yeah, so I think we'll make use, simply because, you know, we've got the holes. The holes are in a place where we can use gravity to our advantage. It's got a nice grip to grip into something, you know, that could grip onto something. So I think it's, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this, we're going to use that as a basis of making another sneaky lock somewhere, whether it be on this door, whether it be on that door, maybe you could do it here, or maybe the other, you know, some sort of thing. We're going to make a remote lock where it's behind the door, the cable is connected. To open it, you're going to have to pull something or unlock something. Yeah, I think that was going to be a fantastic project, that is. So for the new arrivals on the channel, we've already made something similar, sort of a remote mechanism. Did you ever spot this at the top of the door? The idea worked, but we never finished it off, did we? So here is the door. The door opens and shuts, look. Okay, so when we operate that is just enough to jam the door. That gives them an idea, right, we've got to get round it. So that is connected to that. Ooh, let me just, yeah. So that bit is connected to that bit, which is a nut connected. Let's follow that around. We kept it round the wall, didn't we? Which is now connected to this bit. I've put a bit of spring on it, give it a bit of strong on its own. It's not so very good, but it's easy to work with a spring. But you see that leaves that there, works that there. So let's follow where that goes. That is in here, which is all in purpose, is a separate building if you were to lock this building. Now, a good person, you know, a skilled person would I was imagining something like a light fitting or something that just twists. So I happened to put the switch on it, just for hell of it. But what it is, it's a money box. And it's a money box. And inside the money box is a big nut. You see? Now we can move that by hand. I did make a tool for it. to work it, but I've lost it already. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You could make some sort of special tool that fits that. But you see how this operates that there? Which now, can you see, operates the bar. Oh. So that is one of the locks that operate there, because you know I love making locks. So it secures the door from another location, another building. So there'd be the same idea with the cable. We'll have this hidden somewhere, and you might have to do something. You might have to pull this or whatever to release it. We'll may disguise it as something. So that's one of the, I think it was one of the first primitive sneaky locks that we made, because you know I love making sneaky locks, don't I? Yeah. Which is the same as this lock under here. You know, remember Scoutcrafter, and see, so we've got that one. This is the sneaky lock one, and then I made another sneaky lock here, didn't I? This let me show you, but it wants a bit of addition to it. We did this. This is our own key. It turns a big nut down there, and when you turn the nut, when this sits in there, it turns the nut, which then makes that thread come down. So as that thread comes downwards, it pivots on a spanner. Let's have a look. It pivots on this spanner here, and remember we put a knuckle in it and we drove it up here so that it catches in that key plug. That's the plan, but it's a bit weak there because the door is strong and there's a lot of leverage. I keep meaning to, when it goes up here, make a connection so that it goes up here as well. So as that drives upwards, it drives the cam, which operates another cam, which takes it up to here, which will make it stronger. So that's a bit of a lock in progress, that one is, for the new subscribers, because the old channel is growing. Ooh, it is. And I do enjoy making sneaky my own locks, you know, as you know, we've got the door and we've got the other door, and then this is the surprise. This is the surprise door in there, and then the lock's protected. We get a lock under there. Look, it goes between there and there, so they can't get to it. So I do enjoy making sneaky locks, and when it's shut, if you haven't got this key, the only way to open it is down that tube there. Yeah, and there's a film on that there somewhere, and it was causing me trouble. This wasn't quite, these weren't quite long enough, and it was slipping, kicking up. But since I've put this piece of rubber here, it's allowed this to grip. It's rubber on metal now, so it's got a lot more pushing power. Because what it was doing, if you give that enough abuse, that the rubber grip sits, but what it was doing was flipping this up. So this has been on test for quite a while before. Whenever you make something, always make sure you can get at it if it stops working. So this has been on test now for a good while. I can rely on this now. So now I can seal this up now so you can't get to it. It's one of those jobs to do, see. And it was in an odd place. It's okay putting your keep on the frame, but when you keep on going the frame, look, that's how that works. How do how do you make the lock work? See, this comes here and that goes across. This comes here and that goes across there, and when it opens, it just drops away. So you're not catching yourself. Do you know when you walk in and out, you don't want to carry something in and then catch yourself and go, ah! So closing is the same. There's a little handle here. I pull the little handle up, feel for where it's going to connect. And then slide the bolt across. So when the bolt disconnects, you also know it's open as well. So yeah, anybody has made any secret locks? Any new ideas? We're in the middle of doing the other one. I'm still waiting for checker plate, or landing on checker plates. Do you know when you want something, you can never find it, can you? But anyway, yeah, I feel like making a lock.